Are you in a huge debt that you find difficult to pay? Getting out of debt is a challenge for everyone, but if you don't have a little extra cash, it's an even bigger problem to overcome. Before we begin, think about this. While it is understandable that sometimes one feels helpless because essential things have to be paid, do everything that you can to get out of this negative spiral. In general, it can help to just not think about how to make more money, but also how not to spend or lose it. Imagine a bathtub with water, i.e. money, running into it. You have control over both the water flowing in and out. The tub will always remain empty if the incoming water flows slower than out. It can only start to fill up if more water flows in than out. Then it will eventually fill up, even if it takes time. You can still pay off debt even if you don't have any money, but you'll need to adjust your finances first. In this video, we will explore the top 10 ways together how you can pay off your debt fast. Stay tuned. Number 10. Create a budget. Most times, we underestimate the power of creating budgets because most of the time we end up not sticking to our budget plans. Well, it's time to make a turnaround if you really want to get free from that debt. No matter how big or small they are, you've got to mellow down and create a budget. Why should you create a budget? By creating one, you will be able to improve the decisions you make regarding your finances and get an idea of how much you can spend towards paying off your debt each month. Now you see that a budget will make this easier. Your budget can also assist you in determining where you can save money to reduce your debt. One more thing, refrain from attempting to keep track of your spending in your brain. Writing them down on paper will allow you to see it, the large picture, without requiring you to rely on your recollection. Number 9. Distinguish between broke and overspent. Are you using the term broke to describe the state that one finds themselves in after spending all of their money on things that are neither necessary nor bills? If this is the case, then you are not broke. You can make adjustments to the way that you spend your money to free up some space in your financial plan. If you genuinely do not have money, you should avoid making matters much more difficult for yourself by making poor choices, such as spending money on things that you do not require. This way, you end up saving more to pay off your debt. Number 8. Establish a course of action. It doesn't end with just creating a budget or limiting your expenses. If you really want to pay off your debt quickly, you must establish a course of action. Set out strategic plans on how to go about it. And here's a tip. No matter how much money you have available, and even if you cannot begin payments immediately, you should always start paying off your debt with a plan. Now, to begin, make a list of all of your debts, including the current balance and the interest rate. Create a list of priorities for your accounts and note the order in which you want to pay off your debts. For example, pay off the debt with the highest interest rate first, and then the debt with the lowest balance or some other order. The strategy entails making a maximum payment that you can manage on one account to knock it down while making the minimum payment on the remaining accounts. Work with what you have for now, even if it would be ideal to discover ways to reduce your expenses and free up more money in your budget. Number 7. Make more money. Increasing one's financial standing serves two purposes. To begin, you won't have to use your credit cards to get by anymore, which is a huge relief. Second, you'll have a more significant sum of money at your disposal to apply towards paying your debt down. You can boost your income by picking up a second job, working as a freelancer, selling items on online marketplaces like eBay or Craigslist, or turning a hobby into a source of revenue, maybe working an odd job, or launching your own small business. Number 6. Ask creditors to reduce your monthly interest payments. While this might seem impossible, it's highly achievable. When you have a high interest rate, it is more challenging to pay off your debt since a more significant portion of each payment you make goes towards paying interest and fees. If you cut your interest rate, the monthly payment will decrease and you can pay off your debt more quickly. You have more power to negotiate a lower interest rate if you have a solid credit score and history of making timely payments. Consider moving your balance to a credit card with a lower interest rate if the company that issued your credit card is unwilling to negotiate a lower rate. It is even better to take advantage of a balance transfer deal that does not charge you any fees. Number 5. Keep your payments current to avoid late fees. If you're a fan of making your payments late, it's time to stop it. Seriously, start making all of your payments on time. Late payments will slow down your progress in paying off your debt for multiple important reasons. Delaying your payments or paying up late would significantly increase the amount that you're supposed to pay the next month. The following month, you will have to make 2 payments plus a late fee. This extra is money that could have gone towards reducing your overall balance. Additionally, Suppose that you have 2 consecutive late payments on your credit card. In that case, you will be subject to the penalty rate, making it even more difficult to pay off your debt. Further, it lowers your credit score, making it a challenge to negotiate better rates, as we just discussed. Number 4. Seek out counseling for consumer credit. A credit counseling organization can evaluate your financial state. Together, you can design a spending plan that can incorporate regular payments towards your debts. A debt management plan, often known as a DMP, is what the credit counselor will try to negotiate with your creditors if you cannot make your monthly debt payments. The DMP will typically involve making lower monthly payments to each of your creditors. Additionally, you may be required to make just one monthly payment to your credit counselor, who will then distribute payments to each of your creditors. If your situation and your capacity to pay off your obligations are more complex, you may want to consider getting aid from a debt relief program. Pursuing debt settlement is the last alternative because it entails ceasing payments and dealing with a firm that holds the money in escrow while negotiating with your creditors to reach a settlement, which can take up to 4 years. Your credit score could take a significant hit if you withhold payments from your creditors. Number 3. Take one step at a time. First, remember that you can't just pull it all off at once. Paying off your debt is something you do persistently and gradually. Trust me, it takes some time. The truth is, it's easy to feel overwhelmed when you look at the complete picture of your debt, but keep in mind that you won't be able to tackle it all at once. Your strategy for paying off debts will be more successful if you focus on paying off just one bill at a time. Maintain a record of your advancement, take time to honor your accomplishments, and keep chipping away at your debts until it's paid off. How to eat an elephant? Piece by piece. Number 2. Stop creating debt. This point is where most people fail. You must stop procuring more bad debt while you're yet to pay off your outstanding bad debt. Continuing to do so can leave your life messed up. If you continue to make payments while adding to your negative balances, you will never, ever be able to pay off your debt. Now, here's what you should do. Do not close your credit card accounts. Doing so will hurt your credit score. Instead, place your credit cards in a drawer or freeze them in a block of ice. Yeah, some people actually do that to make it harder to reach it. Do not submit any more loan applications if you want to avoid the possibility of accumulating further debt and lowering your credit score. Taking on the additional debt will result in higher monthly payments, putting extra pressure on your ability to meet ends. When you don't have cash on hand, it might be challenging to get by without using credit cards, but if you are serious about paying off your debt, you must figure out a way to get by on the money that you have coming in. Number 1. Look for ways to cut your expenses. It's always good to examine your financial state and achievements regularly. Don't make any assumptions about it. Examine the statements that you receive from your bank every month to gain insight into how you're spending your money. Many millionaires do so, a daily habit that helped them to become that wealthy. In short, what gets measured gets managed, as Peter Drucker said. Now, before making any purchases, you should critically consider whether or not you can get by without that expense in question. Keep in mind that you're not reducing expenditures for absolutely no purpose at all. You're doing this to clear your debt and become financially free. And this is an admirable objective. You will have to make some sacrifices in the short term, but once you've paid off your debt, you can decide whether those expenses are worthwhile. Which of these debt-eliminating habits appeals to you the most? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Please, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell icon because we keep posting new videos like this and you don't want to miss them. Until next time, thanks for watching.